Hi, my name is Mollie Kemp, and I'm the school counselor at Wylie for the 3rd and 4th graders here in Dexter. We're seeing lately, in the last few years, I would say, an increase in a need for educating the kids about mental health in terms of there being more need for them to have some strategies to use for coping, particularly when it comes to anxious moments or moments of feeling very sad or even depressed. So we've done many things here at Wylie with the help of grants and some other funding to try to educate better our kids and our staff and our parents. One of the great things that happened a couple years ago is that we were able to get a grant for a program called Go Zen. And that's a web-based program where kids can learn a lot about what is anxiety and how can I effectively live with it and work around it and work through it. So there are many kids that meet with me during lunch groups, during what's called an Easing Worries group, and we go through those strategies, and it's been very, very helpful. Something else that we are working on this year as a staff, and this is a district-wide staff, is having a really special school counselor from another school district come and teach us about what's called Tier 0. So in schools, we talk about response to intervention being Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 for the most serious intervention needed, but maybe we've missed what's called Tier 0, and Tier 0 is acknowledging kind of those basic needs, like if you remember back to school when you learned about Maslow and the hierarchy, like is the child getting enough food? Is the child getting enough sleep? Is the child able to have clean clothes? And if basic needs are not met, like the need for safety, for example, then the kids just aren't able to do school, and the academics are totally secondary. So we're getting a better learning for how to make relationships with students so that we can have a better understanding of their Tier 0 needs if there are some. And at Wylie this year, our emphasis has really been on relationships. The first few weeks of school, we focused more on games and team building and getting to know students as individuals so that they could feel safe and comfortable at school before they really started the learning process. So we are kind of backing up and trying to approach education from the lens of addressing the students' like core needs first, because we know that if those aren't helped or kind of those holes filled, that kids just aren't going to A, enjoy school, or B, get much out of school, the learning that is. So there's a lot that's happening at Wylie, and I think with more funding, we could even do more. We would like to do more in terms of giving the teachers strategies for recognizing mental health challenges. So one of the things that we haven't done well, I think, as a society for preparing teachers is talk to them about the whole child and, you know, how to recognize when things are not going smoothly. We are very good as educators, I think, as a whole at teaching and doing that part of developing the child, but we need to be able to do more to recognize the mental health symptomology. So we also would like to be able to offer more in terms of parent training and maybe corresponding more regularly by giving more resources and tools to parents who sometimes feel very stuck and helpless because parenting is a pretty tricky job in this day and age. So we're hopeful that we're moving in a great direction, but with more funding, we'll be able to do more to really solidify our base in terms of helping kids with mental health concerns. Research shows that 20% of kids do have issues in the area of mental health, and all of those kids aren't being serviced the way that they need to be. And so we want to be able to close that gap. So we think, like I said, we're moving in a positive direction, but there is much more that we can do here at school and as a greater community. So thank you for your support.